Hey there, and welcome to another episode of the John Graves Show. Nobunaga the Fool, Episode 3, The Chariot. Or should I say the Chariot reversed, because it kind of signifies mindless violence in this, well, at least in this episode anyway. And as it kind of portrays, the Shingen Takeda launches an attack on some of the Oda forces just to test Nobunaga's mech power, because he has a regalia and he doesn't, and he's just trying to test the power at this point. And before I really get into that, we do kind of have some things that do kind of happen before this, like Jean is actually trying to, she's actually dedicated to the whole Ranmaru thing. The only real thing that she kind of hasn't done is dyed her hair black, which I kind of don't think that's what she's going to do. And you know, a lot of people, they do think of they do kind of think that she's a man. Strange, oddly enough. And she does kind of have a little moment with Nobuketsu, who does ask her to look after his brother, and pretty much, you know, she seems like one of his trusted friends and such. And Mitsuhide, he does talk to the consul, who does want to reprimand Nobunaga, because he did bring in some foreign people, which they keep calling Western barbarians, which does kind of bother me in a sense, because they think they're better or something. But you know, that's just the times. But they do kind of have to have some problems with that, and they do kind of put up some reasons. I mean, some valid points, even though they knew that. I mean, like, but Mitsuhide, he still argues it, even though he knows that they're not going to agree with it. And Hime goes on her way to try and propose to Nobunaga, try and to marry him, and all that craziness. And before we do kind of have our mid split break, we do kind of see some of Nobunaga's skill, or at least like his skill on the battlefield. He is a pretty good archer. Well, I say pretty good. He's actually a really good archer, being able to take down and disable plenty of the warrior mechs, which they did try and come in and attack their forces and drain all of their morale. He took them all down with a single arrow each, you know, all the way up into the point which that Hideyoshi and Mitsuhide, they do come in with Leonardo da Vinci, who brings his new invention, the I think it was like a rifle. He let Mitsuhide use a rifle, and he used that to take out a few more of them. And you know, after they do the card pull, Nobunaga, he does kind of have a battle against some of the forces. He did get into his he did hop into the Fool and go ahead and take out some of the forces of Shingen, and also he did kind of hold his own for just a little bit against Shingen's mech, even though Shingen's mech does have a flame regalia, and he does have the power to, or at least his mech does have the power to summon fire and scorch things in flames whatever hits his sword. So that is a problem. And when it comes up to they did throw in a little moment between Nobunaga and Jean when she left after she pulled the card. She went to go and save some kids from a nearby burning house, which that she does succeed, but at the same time, Nobunaga still has to come and save her, because you know she's gonna burn alive and all that. And she did have flashbacks like of her death in this timeline, so, or at least on this plane of existence. So yeah, and Nobunaga, he helps her out and calls Shingen out, and Himiko shows up just in time to pretty much give him her regalia, giving the Fool some brand new armor and lightning based attacks, which seem to be enough to fend off Shingen. However, I do kind of have to laugh at the whole thing of how she gave Nobunaga the regalia just so he could marry her. or at least just so that he would propose to her and tell the heavens that he accepts her as his wife. And I did honestly kind of like how, man, before, man, he actually finished the sentence, he did stop, was like, what? Then transform, which that, you know, I kind of didn't talk about this before, but the opening and ending of Nobunaga the Fool, I recently just watched the ending today, and even though it's a little more dubsteppy, hey, it fits the show, or at least like it fits the ending, and it's pretty good. As far as the opening, it has a lot of Sengoku Basara in it, but yeah, I still like it. It's pretty good, you know. And these characters, they are really, really likable, and you know, even though Nobunaga, he may come off as a slacker or whatever, he's still pretty skilled. He's still pretty knowledgeable, and pretty much he does know that, yeah, he only relies on, at this point in the story, he only relies on 4 people, really. He relies on well, now in terms of combat, he relies on Mitsuhide, Hideyoshi, Jean, or in this case Ranmaru, and Leonardo da Vinci. Or at least these are the people who that he shows considerable respect to. The people who that, I mean, like, the only 2 people in his family who that he really even like expresses like to are pretty much his younger brother Nobuketsu and his younger sister Oichi. So that's kind of it. He kind of have a little on-off thing with his father, of him saying like that, man, he kind of dislikes his father, but at the same time, it's like he still respects him. So yeah, that's kind of where that's going. That's kind of what I thought of this episode. I kind of did a little character retrospect at the end. Sorry about that, but yeah, it happens from time to time. So yeah, I like Nobunaga the Fool. Episode 3, it gave me a little bit more to think about in terms of the show, and yeah, pretty good to watch. So yeah, what do you guys think of this episode? You like, love it, hate it? Please let me tell me down there in the comment section. I'll see you guys on the next John Grave show, and I am out. Keep watching anime and keep playing video games. See you later.